Hello.
Welcome back to the HNU podcast with your host, Himalay and
Urvashi.
If you can, like, subscribe and share.
If you like it.
What the hell? It's been 2 weeks, since we last recorded.
2 weeks.
Much needed 2 weeks, to be fair, because we've been doing things.
Yes. Yeah.
Nothing to do with the podcast, though. Absolutely nothing.
That is very true.
Personal stuff, innit?
Mm-hmm.
It's good, though. How are you feeling? I feel like I've not spoken to you.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Weirdly enough. Now that we've started the podcast, it does feel like this is the time we actually get to catch up with each other.
Yeah, and the only time I want to catch up, to be honest.
Really? What a dickhead! Right.
It's good, because I feel like if we talk every day, there's nothing to talk about.
No, that's fair. Yeah, then it just becomes a whole how was your day?
And it's forced, and I hate that forced conversation.
Sometimes you genuinely care and you want to know, but sometimes it is just for the sake of conversation.
Yeah, fair.
But, yeah, no. I mean, I feel better now.
Yeah?
Yeah. I have a headache, but I feel better now.
Yeah. As you can see, the head top looked different. No more long hair. I had to get rid of it, man, because every time I woke up, I'd be like drenched in sweat. And there'd be another 15 minutes extra that I'd have to sort it out. So I was like, it's just too much effort. The practicality of it, not there. Maybe later on, if my hair still grows like that, then I'll do it. But it's short hair for the win for now.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. It's still naturally curly.
Yeah, that's true. That's what everyone says. I got told that it looks like I've done a perm. Like I've got a perm or something like that. I'm like, no, it's all natural.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said the ocean helped with that, didn't you?
I want to say the ocean did that much. I mean, when was that? That was back in October last year. So hair's still curly. I wouldn't say it's that. It's just my hair is naturally curly.
Fair.
Yeah. What's something that you've been waiting to do for a while, but you pushed it back?
Probably developing myself enough career-wise to the point where I feel like I've actually started in the career that I want to start in.
Why are you pushing it back?
I feel like there was a lot of procrastination. I'm saying was because now I'm actually working towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm kind of pushed back on the procrastination side and been like, no, I want to take control. I want to be able to start this. I can be lazy for the other half of my life, like for the half when I've worked enough to be lazy, because right now I feel like for the last couple of weeks I've been in a state of mind where I'm just like, let me do this first and then I'll get to it. Let me do this first and I'll get to it. And it won't work like that. I have to put in the work to be able to know that, if this is something I really want, I have to go after it. I have to chase it. I have to not just expect things to come to me.
Well, it's a good thing that you acknowledge that. I mean, that's the first thing.
Yeah. And so I have actually been doing things about it, making phone calls and, wishing and praying and hoping. And just waiting for life to happen, I guess.
Why are you waiting for life to happen? Because it doesn't work like that.
I've recently had the thought of I've been the type of person for most of my life to just sit back and let the world take over. Just sit back and allow to watch things to happen. But now it's time to take control.
Good.
Yeah.
So it's got to be. Life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. But also, you've got to control, how you perceive the world and then go out and get it.
Yeah.
Because then if you don't, then you're just you're just accepting everything that comes your way.
Mm-hmm. Then it's kind
Even
of
if
like...
it's bad. But I guess in a way that's what it is, the whole predetermined thing. Like, do you think everything's predetermined?
I do, yeah. Like written in stone,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I think we're just here to live this life that is already being written for us. But I also do believe we have choices within this life that could change the path, of our career. Not just career, of our whole life.
Yeah.
But I think all these little paths are written within that stone. It's written in stone. We have the decision to get to the same destination.
Well, that's the thing, innit? I believe that as well. Everything is predetermined. But you can choose how you want your life to turn out.
Mm-hmm.
If you see yourself going down that path or wherever it is, you can change that if you don't like it.
Yeah, it's true. We have options, we have choices. And I feel like if we ignore them, then it's just what's the point if you're not going to take action?
Then it's just you accepting it for what it is and thinking that you don't have no say in how it will go. there are some things, of course, like death, for example, that's inevitable. That's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Where you can't control it. What you can control is how you react to that, and
Yeah.
how you allow that to fuel you or discourage you to continue with anything.
Yeah. Unless it is you, the one that's dying, then you can't do any of these things. You're just dead.
Well, if it's you dying, do you want to die? And if that's a no, then what are you trying to do to prevent it? Obviously, there's like terminal cancer and all this stuff.
Yeah.
That you can't, but there are things that you can do whilst you are living.
That's very true.
That you can do.
I think eventually at some point everybody would have at least a slight desire to die. I mean, like, on a very later on age.
Yeah.
Say you are no longer capable of handling yourself and you need help for everything. I think that's when people get to a point where mentally you're like, my physical state isn't here anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's here, but I can't really, I'm not in control anymore.
Right.
Like, I need people's help. And I think that's when people start to think that, like, well, now I feel like just a waste of space if I can't actually do anything for myself.
Right.
And I think that's when we might start to desire death.
It depends on the mindset that you have at those times as well. Like, you could think like that, okay, cool, I've given up now, I don't want to live anymore. Or you could, there is always a way to do things that you want to do, you know, little things, or like just spreading messages and stuff like that.
Yeah, savouring the moments you do have as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, living in the moment.
Yeah. I don't think I push anything back anymore. I used to, for sure, and now it's got to the mentality of, if I want it done, I can't talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about it, because talking about it makes me feel like shit. It just doesn't makes me feel like shit because I'm not doing anything.
I understand that, because I feel like if, say for example, I'm looking for a job right now personally, and I've been asked questions about it. I'm just like, am I actually doing anything about this? Like, am I actually physically? Have I changed my CV yet? Have I updated it? No. Have I actually been applying, like, actively applying to jobs? No. So when I'm talking about it, I'm like, why am I talking about this? 'Cause I'm clearly not doing anything about it.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's like, it does make you feel this sense of like, well, I feel like shit because I'm talking about something that I should be doing, but I'm not doing right now. Mm-hmm. That's another thing about pushing it back.
Yeah.
Because I've been pushing it back, saying, oh, well, right now I'm doing this. Let me focus on this. It doesn't work like that.
It's also like accepting that wherever you are right now is where you're supposed to be. Even you might not want to be where you are, but you are. You can't change that. But you can change the way you look at it.
Yeah.
Later on, you know, the next day you could change your complete mindset about it. That's up to you.
It's very true. And you could do something about it as well. Yeah.
Do you see yourself evolving, and what does evolving yourself mean to you?
I do see myself evolving. I feel like sometimes I tend to sell myself short or not realise my own worth. As much as I think I do, there'll be times when I'll be like, I don't feel like I should be in control of things sometimes. And it's a weird one because I've realised this recently. And it's like, I'll give you an example. Like, for example, say I'm with someone, right? I wouldn't like the responsibility of taking a phone call and being the one in control of like, oh, here's where we are. This is what we're doing. I think you know where I'm going with this.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm really bad at that. Like, I don't like, if someone's with me, I'd prefer them to say where we are and like do all the stuff, you know? Or I'm like, okay, you take control, you do all the communication stuff with other people. I want to just, you know, try and sort out where we are, what we're doing. Yeah, but I wouldn't want to be the one in control of that situation. Most of the time, I am put in that situation where I am the one making the phone call or doing something, and my words will be all over the place because my mind is all over the place. Right? And so I'll say things that don't make sense, and I'll be like, wait, no, this is what I actually mean. And I tend to confuse the other person in that situation. Yeah. So that's why I prefer, like, I rely on a lot of people when it comes to things like that. And it's because I've realised I don't like to be in control. I can't even speak English right now. In control of situations like that. Yeah. Yeah,
no, I'm completely opposite. I like to be in control because I know where we're going to be going and have an idea of how it actually should go.
Yeah.
No, but the thing that I was a victim to is expecting it to go the way I see it in my head, and it doesn't go that way, and then I'm upset.
Yeah.
And I did that so many times. Like, it was a lesson that had to be taught so many times until I sort of came to my senses and understood the lesson.
Right.
And be like, that everything external is out of my control. What I can control is how I react to it. So let's say we're supposed to be getting somewhere at 8 o'clock. We get there for 10 o'clock. There's a 2 hour difference. Well, that wasn't my
original plan, but
let's keep it going.
Yeah.
Even though I'll be like pissed off and frustrated at that time, I won't let that time affect the rest of the day. You know, I'm not going to allow that to change the way I saw the day, how the day was going to go.
That's good, because I do know the times you're talking about. Like, in terms of, I could see, like, the people who know you very well, they can see how much your mood has already changed. Just whether it's a little thing, whether it's a big thing, like, but you don't let it be a knock-on effect. You stop yourself before you become like, you know, and so you don't change how you actually are just because of these things, and that's good. I found I'm very much the opposite. I don't hold expectations to avoid disappointment, and I've been like this for as long as I can remember. Whether it's something to do with me, whether it's something to do with someone else or everybody else, I just don't hold expectation. If someone was to do something for me, of course there's that appreciation and that, like, you realise, like, okay, this person's here for me in this sense. But I'd never expect it. Even with situations, like, yes, I imagine how it would look like, for example, like a venue. If I go into a venue, like, obviously I've never been there before, I'd imagine how that would go. But I always know for a fact that this is just my imagination. I don't actually know what's going to happen or how it's going to happen.
But do you ever think, like, oh, what if this does happen? Like, all the bad things, you know, that comes with, that a lot of people do before they're at a place or before an interview or before you're supposed to do something or go somewhere. Do you have those negative thoughts of, oh, what if it goes this way? I don't like
the what if kind of thing. I feel like I have a sense of what if, but I never listen to it. So I never let that deter me from whatever it is I'm doing, whether it is a job interview, whether it is going to an event, because I feel like that's when the anxiety would play a part. If you do stop yourself from doing something. Something quite similar happened yesterday, actually, where I kept tricking myself into thinking that I've made a mistake by saying yes to something. I kept telling myself, you've got too much other things going on, why have you done this right now? But that was the procrastination, like, talking to me, being like, you shouldn't have started this. You're not ready for it, you shouldn't have started this. But clearly, I went and I was ready for it, and I had a good time, and I'm glad I did that, you know? Like, I didn't stop myself from being like, because I was talking to Mum, because I'd taken her shopping earlier than that, and I was like, Mum, I should have said no, why did I say yes? Like, we could have done something else, we could have done this, like, I could have done this instead. But that was just, like, my doubts, my anxiety, my fears, talking, as well as the procrastination, because I kept telling myself I'm not ready, when I've been ready. Like, this is what I've been waiting for. So I need to stop the waiting part and just do it. Stop the procrastination stage. Going back to the question, do I see myself evolving? For sure, 100%, man. If you feel like, and if there were people out there that say, no, I'm not really evolving in terms of, like, changing for the better, or I feel like the same, maybe you're not looking at yourself the right way, because honestly, like, in order for you to change, things need to change. And also, it's what's the word? Inevitable. It is. It is, like, you've got to accept the change, even if it is uncomfortable. That's one thing I'm trying to get comfortable with, feeling uncomfortable. I'm not quite ready for that part of my life.
You've got to, honestly. Like, it will be the best thing for you to feel uncomfortable, because then you start to realise how you actually are. Like, I am so positive when change comes. Even when I'm at work and stuff, and something might go wrong, it's okay. In situations where people would flip out or be angry or be upset, and allow them to just stay in that situation for ages, I'm not like that, because everything happens for a reason, and I'm like, well, okay, cool, let's just, again, roll with the punches.
Yeah.
You got to keep going, otherwise you're going to sit in your own pit of, you know, demise and all that. Like, oh, I don't want to move, I don't want to do anything, you know. It have that knock-on effect for the next day or the next day, or how long you allow yourself to sit in it.
Yeah.
And I did that so often growing up, and so I am evolving all the time. And I love that I'm able to just push past or even see things in a positive light. You've got to, man.
Yeah.
You've got to. You've got to keep moving like that.
That's good, as you should.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, and I'm not like stopping myself from feeling upset, because when I'm upset, I acknowledge it. But I'm like, go down that list of why am I upset? Like, what's going on today?
yeah.
Okay, do I need to take a break? Cool, okay, I'll take a break. Allowing myself to do it as well. And allowing myself to just relax for a second. I didn't allow myself before. I didn't give myself permission to do that.
Right.
Which is the main thing. Giving yourself permission to do these things, because people don't realise you can do that.
Yeah, you are in control, so you need to be able to manage that in the best way possible for you.
And you are such a slow eater. I swear to God, if you ever sit down and sit with this person, I'm done. And I've got to wait at least 20-30 minutes until you're done.
But this guy inhales his food. Like, it'll be there 1 second and it's gone. Okay, this is him. And I'm the complete opposite, where I will actually, by the time it takes me to eat like 5 chips, he would have had like a whole meal.
That's fair to me. But to be fair, like, yeah, I probably makes it like seem like I'm eating, like I'm a competitive eater, like full on I'm eating the food, like someone's gonna take it off me kind of thing.
Yeah, and now there's me like 1 chip at a time, enjoying myself, you know, digesting my food. It's a good thing to chew your food as well.
Your food is cold by the end of the time you finished it. That's not normal. That's too slow. You're right in terms of like chewing your food and making sure that it goes down properly, right? You take the piss. You're in slow motion. That's what you are. Jesus Christ.
I am in slow motion.
My God, it's like watching a sloth eat. Fucking hell.
I've never eaten a sloth. I've never seen a sloth eat.
Yeah, I'm not eating a sloth. You bloody sloth eater. What the fuck?
Sloth eater. No, I admit, I've said this to a lot of people. Even if we have plans for dinner, whatever, I will say I am the slowest eater you will ever meet.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it rings to be true.
Okay, trains lasted last weekend.
Yeah, we never got to talk about the trains.
Oh my, okay, yeah. So we went to my cousin's 30th birthday. Shout out to Rish.
Our cousin's 30th birthday. Shout out to Rish.
Yeah. And we took a train there, had a good time, went out, drinks, party, have a good time.
Yes.
Yeah. On the way back Sunday, our train was supposed to leave at 4:20, so we got to the train station just on time. Looked at the ticket just when we were going in, cancelled.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What's the next step? Let's look for the next train that goes out, right? So, like I said, we got out at 4:20. We didn't get home till 8:30.
Yeah.
We took 5 stops?
5 trains.
So it was like from Leeds. I don't remember this. So it was
Leeds to Doncaster, Doncaster to Sheffield. So originally we were supposed to take 2 trains to get back home. So on the way there it was 2 trains. On the way back it was supposed to be 2 trains, so 4 in total. We ended up taking 7 trains for this one journey. We went from Leeds to Doncaster, Doncaster to Sheffield to Derby.
Yeah, Derby.
Derby to Nottingham, and then Nottingham to finally home.
And then the Nottingham one, that we got to the station, and the one from Nottingham to Leicester got cancelled, so we had to wait another hour. That's why it took so long. But my God, it was so long. It
was very, very long. I feel like I enjoyed it a little bit more than you did.
No. I wouldn't say that I was stressed out or like crying about it. It was just like at the time, it was like cool. Like it was just time to like reflect. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
More than anything.
It was very fun.
Yeah.
It was quite the adventure. We basically toured like half the UK.
Yeah, basically. Jumping from one station to the other.
Yeah.
No, it was cool though.
If I felt like a criminal, I kept telling him like, "Oh, there's a."
That was hilarious. I don't know which stop where we were at, right? And there were 2 police officers and a lady that works at the train station that was coming on. She was like, "Oh my god!" We had headphones on, and I was just like chilling. And she went, "Hey, the police are coming on, and I just heard that if we get on the train without a train ticket, it's gonna be £1,000 fine." And I went, "Do you think that they're gonna?" We've got a perfectly good explanation.
We had a good explanation, right? And this was our only option to get home because every other train had been cancelled because of like train strikes and rail stuff was going on with like the railway in between. But it was like I felt like a criminal because we were just train hopping, just getting on any train that was going towards our main destination.
Mate, as soon as in my head it was like, well, we've got an explanation. That's it. What are they going to say about it?
Yeah.
They can't do anything about it, to be honest.
Yeah, it's only because, like, on the ticket, it does say terms and conditions, and it's only, like, conditioned to the train we're originally supposed to take. But we were going on every single, like, different, like, brands of trains or whatever. Our
destination was Leicester. We're going to get there anyhow.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have said anything anyway.
Mm-hmm.
What are they going to do?
Yeah. I feel like sometimes, like, a train conductor will understand, but some of them are just like...
Well, have you been in that situation then?
Not personally, but I've had other people where they've been like, well, you either pay the £100 right now or get off this train. And that was one time when me and Mum were on a train and someone was getting kicked out behind us, literally the seat behind us. And obviously we felt really bad. But
what was their reason for it?
They got on an earlier train than they were supposed to. And it was the same thing. They'd already paid for a ticket, but they got on an earlier one. And ours was obviously a later one because we missed the other ones. But
that one's slightly more reasonable. Whereas if it's got cancelled, then jump on any train back.
That's fair. Yeah. You say any, but they'd still be like, yeah, but this isn't with our company.
What are you talking about?
Like,
you can get on. If ours got cancelled and we checked and there's none coming for ages, like me personally, I'm jumping on the next one. I don't care how we get to where we're going to get to, that destination. I'm jumping on anything. I don't care if it's the next, this is not the same company. Don't even think about them stopping you because that's you kind of putting it into existence. If they stop you, they stop you. End of discussion, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas I'm just like, all right, cool then. That was my problem. This is my solution. Cool, let's go.
Fair enough.
Nothing else in between. That was it. I'm sitting on the train, putting the music on.
Yeah, he fell asleep so many times. I just look over here at this guy.
Yeah.
He's like there for 1 minute, listening to music, head nodding. Next second, he's just gone. He's knocked
I can sleep. I swear to God, I need to get a bed that wobbles or something because that will put me to sleep like a baby. I don't know what it is. Even on bus journeys, when I used to go to Loughborough College, that hour journey on the bus, I'd fall asleep. Easy. And then people are like, oh, but what if you miss your stop? There's this thing called a timer, or there's an alarm. Just put an alarm, isn't it? Like 5 minutes before you're supposed to get off.
I could never, ever sleep on a bus. A bus more. I've slept on a train before, but I have put an alarm on because you're the one that put that idea into my head, and I was just so tired this one day. But yeah, trains, fine, fair enough. If it's a longer journey than an hour, fair enough. But a bus, to be fair, I've never had to be on a bus for longer than 45 minutes to an hour anyways.
Yeah.
But, yeah. No.
I fell asleep in so many Ubers. So many Ubers.
It's something about moving vehicles and him.
Man,
He'll just knock out.
It's perfect for me. Like, I'm just like, I have no control over that, you know? Let's go sleep.
I reckon if you had a hammock, you would fall asleep in it all the time.
Well, that's just like having a bed. I'd fall asleep in a bed. Oh, you mean like...
No, a hammock. It's moving. So you said you want something that's moving.
Yeah, but it wouldn't automatically move. It'd just stay in one spot. But I understand what you're trying to say. I understand what you're trying to say. I don't know why I'm trying to deep it like that.
I know.
I get what you're trying to say there.
Yeah. But that was an eventful.
It was something that taught. Do you know what? It's just like patience. Like I would just have a lot of patience now. So I think 2-3 years ago that would have bothered me a lot. You know, thinking, oh yeah, I've got a plan in hand of what I'm going to do that day, and the whole day's basically scrapped. But now, growing up, I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Like again, I slept like you said most of the time, so it's alright.
Yeah. Now I was getting frustrated because I couldn't play my music. Because I don't have YouTube Music Premium, and I have YouTube Music, and it just wasn't playing, and I
think you're the only person I know that listens to music on YouTube Music. Only person.
Yeah. See, I would get on Amazon, not Amazon Music, on what's it called? Apple Music.
You can get on Apple Music. No, Amazon Music.
I could go on Amazon Music, yeah.
Might as well make use of it, because that is, like, free.
It is?
Yeah. I've got Amazon Prime, so you can use it.
Oh.
I usually get a coach,
Mm-hmm.
a company coach, to work, from town into work.
Right.
And there was a driver who I'd spoken to the other day. I was just like, got on. Usually I say hi, good morning, all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This time I had decided to have a conversation with him. And he's an old man, he's like 64. And he was just telling me about his life and how he's been up until then. He's had a stroke before. You know, he was talking about like how he's felt since then. And the license, when you get a stroke, they take your license off you. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Which is understandable, right? Let's say you do have a stroke mid-driving, and it's bad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyways, they took his license off him. And he's always, growing up, wanting to be a coach driver.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, that's all he's ever wanted to do. And it's so interesting to me, and I like have envy for people who have dreams like that, to just become something. Obviously, in my eyes, that was simple. Like, that's such a simple, steady thing.
Mm-hmm.
But to them, like, that's everything. It's kind of, but obviously, I'm thinking of it as like my dreams are like big dreams that I want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I envy that. That's the dream that he had. So, and he's done it. Like, he's travelled around the world with coach driving, and
that's adorable.
you know, made a big living out of it. I was like, that's pretty cool. It's always the little things that you find the best beauty in. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, I agree. No, that's adorable.
Mm-hmm.
So wait, I didn't know that, like, you said that if you have a stroke you can have it any time, but it's the same with anything. You could have a heart attack any time while you're driving, or like.
Yeah, but that, I don't know. Probably it's the same with that. If you have a heart attack, they take your license off. I don't know.
Oh my god, that's stressful. I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah, well, that's what he told me anyway. I don't know if it's true or not, but why would he lie?
Yeah, I'm sure it would have been true. But that's amazing, like, having a small dream and taking it to the max.
But I mean no disrespect when we say small dream.
No, 100%. Like, to me, photography is a huge dream, but to someone else it could just be clicking a button.
Yeah, because that's a big dream, and a lot of people look at that as, that's not realistic.
Yeah, it's more of like a hobby than or a passion than a thingy.
Like, someone's dream is a realistic goal. Like, that is cool.
Yeah. I just like to be the one capturing memories for people that they could look back on for a lifetime. That's the one thing that keeps me so, That's
good, and I think the main thing with that is making sure that you become the best of whatever you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was watching this video yesterday of Kobe Bryant saying that everyone's living in their own boxes, and his box was becoming an NBA, you know, the greatest of all time kind of thing. Mm-hmm. That was in his box. Whatever you do in your box, yeah, what are you great with? Like, why are you
better than the next person?
Not better than the next person. Forget about the next person.
Then?
Because you're not competing with them. You're competing with you.
Oh,
that's what you should think about it. That box that you're in is your own box. You make it whatever you make it with, like, you know.
Right.
So it's, as long as you do whatever you do and do it to the best of your ability, your personality will come out.
Yeah, I agree.
You know? So, question of the day. Does someone else need to agree with you?
No.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think I'm pushing past the whole needing permission or somebody to agree with what I'm doing. As long as it makes me happy, I'm going to go out and do it.
Yeah.
And I used to think that would be selfish, but I'm starting to see where boundaries need to be put in life, where it's a healthy boundary and it's for myself. Mm-hmm. And if the people who love me genuinely care about me and love me too, they'll see it how I see it and they'll understand and agree with it anyways.
And it'll be beneficial for them too in the long run as well.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I don't need anybody to agree. What about you?
Good. Yeah, no, I've not needed anyone to agree with me for a long time. There are times where I'll want someone's opinion on something because I might be like, I don't know, in the fog of my own confusion. But no, I don't need people to agree with me.
Yeah, I feel like for me, it's a big thing to. I never want to upset people because I feel guilty. Or even if I do something that makes someone else upset, I feel guilty. I feel guilty for things that I shouldn't feel guilty for.
Right.
Even if I've done nothing wrong and someone else feels a certain way, I will be the one to take the guilt on for that. And it's because I overfeel and I feel what other people feel too. And so I would take that on myself, and I'm starting to try my best not to do that. Because I hate knowing that someone's like annoyed or upset, or whether it's because of me or not, and if I can't help, I feel guilty.
Yeah. No, there is a slight guilt at the start, but then I'm like, but then again, I didn't mean it like that, so I shouldn't feel that way, and I'm not gonna feel like that way. Doesn't work. No.
Yeah.
I'll be sorry and I'll say, cool, well, not cool. I apologize that I made you feel that way. Wasn't my intention at all.
Yeah.
But that was it. That's it. I'll leave it there.
Yeah.
Can't carry it around with me, otherwise I'm just gonna keep feeling like crap all the time.
I just hate it when I feel guilty up to the point where it will stop me from doing things. Like, say, for example, going out to see my friends or doing things I should be doing anyways. It's almost like the anxiety of feeling guilty and like the just the pressure that I feel from it. It makes me want to stop doing things, and I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I'm pushing past that, and I'm being like, no, I don't care. I don't care anymore about what time of the day or what time of the night it is. If I want to do something, I'm responsible for my own life. I need to stop all these other opinions in my head being like, oh, it's that dark, it's nighttime. I don't care. I know me, and I know that I love nighttime and driving in the night or whatever it is, going to the gym at night, whatever it is. I like doing that.
Yeah.
So I need to stop other people's opinions or fears to, like, stopping me.
Yeah. Like allowing others to choose how you feel.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'm learning right now.
Good.
But yeah, so I don't need anybody to agree with me. Sorry, I always go on a tangent. Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening. We appreciate you. Like, subscribe, and share
If you like it, and turn on the post notifications. See you next week. Bye.
Peace.